Julia, we've had results out today from two of the big consumer goods companies, Unilever and Colgate-Palmolive. Was there any kind of theme running through them?
Well, generally they did okay. So if you're looking at same sort of like-for-like sales, organic growth that you want, was up around 5% for both, a little bit higher for Colgate. So they had slightly mixed fortunes within their own markets. So Colgate did reasonably well at growing organic sales in America, for example, whereas Unilever didn't. Whereas Unilever did very well in Latin America and Colgate didn't. So they had sort of mixed fortunes geographically, but overall quite strong growth.
These are very solid companies. They're obviously very defensive during bad economic times. What were their margins like? I mean, have they managed to improve those as well?
On margins, they both did well. They both managed to expand their gross margin, and in Unilever's case, this was really by selling slightly higher margin products. But overall, it was really volumes that drove growth rather than raising prices, and that's really a sort of indication of the difficulty in the environment at the moment.
If we are moving into a slightly more cheerful economic environment for mature markets at least, are these the sort of companies that people should invest in? I mean, what are the valuations like at the moment?
This is the tricky thing. They've got rather expensive. So shares have had a pretty good run really over the last couple of years. Unilever and the likes of Colgate have had a very sort of consistent performance, and Procter & Gamble has sort of suffered a little bit. But that's changed recently. So Procter & Gamble's turned into a bit of a sort of turnaround stock. They've got a lot more that they could do in terms of cutting costs and therefore growing their margin. And as a result, they've sort of increased in price quite a bit more lately. But overall, they're all within the sort of 19 times forward earnings mark, so getting pretty expensive.
As you say, that sounds pretty pricey compared to some other companies. It's probably well deserved in terms of their defensive qualities, but perhaps if the economic mood is changing a little, people should look more broadly, or at least shop carefully.